I have Ethan Page on the line right now. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Sorry about the time constraint for the interview. Just a lot going on today.
Oh, it's no problem. I appreciate you doing it. Everybody, as you can imagine, is adjusting to their different schedules. I'm doing homeschooling and working, so it's been interesting.
Has not been. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's been interesting. I don't think you can call it fun or put a positive spin on it. I don't know, but, interesting. Everybody's still adjusting.
I will say this is the most time I've spent at home, and it's definitely, changed my perspective on how I'll live my life forever.
I mean, you have to have some more appreciation for it because you've said before, I think you were on the road for 3 weeks straight and you got a day or two at home with your family. So now, it's out of your hands, but you're getting to spend that time that you didn't have when you're regularly working so much.
Yeah, it took me a week to just mentally adjust to the fact that I wasn't going to be getting as much attention as I was before, and that's all it is for the wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a financial thing, and then we're addicted to it. So we had to take some time and kind of change the way we're living, and now you see guys are adjusting and trying to get that attention or adulation in different ways, and a lot of people are obviously turning to the internet.
Now, this hit you a couple different ways. You're not only talent, but you're a promoter. You help run Alpha One. You had the branded WrestleCon event that actually you're getting to bring to people today. But can you talk a little bit about how that affected you in those different ways, from on-air talent and promoter?
For sure. So, I mean, I always worry about giving numbers and stuff like that away because I don't ever want to change the perspective of the way people look at wrestling. But I know there was some wrestlers that they yes, this is their job and they're professional wrestlers, but they also have actual jobs too. So while all this stuff's happening, they're still able to work and kind of either support a family or even just if it's just themselves. Whereas with me, it got to be too much to keep a real job. So with promoting and stuff like that, Alpha One was a big thing for my family. Obviously the WrestleMania week, I was before I even sold one T-shirt, going in and out of WrestleMania, I would have made about $5,000 in 3 or 4 days. So that would have helped my family for a month. And just wrestling, I was doing 3-4 shows a week. So it completely just ripped my entire income away from me. And now I'm surviving on grateful fans, doing live streams, my Patreon, any kind of YouTube money that comes in, which is very minimal, and T-shirt sales. So I'm kind of just off my toy collection to buy cardio equipment so I don't come out of this quarantine fat. And it's just it's a huge adjustment. I am very grateful that I get to spend time with my family, but financially it's crippling.
I mean, I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but I guess if there is a bright spot, and you pointed this out on social media, Impact canceled shows, but they're still paying talent for the March shows. And the WrestleMania show. So today, the TNA show was supposed to happen, and all the talent that was actually booked for it will be paid for it. Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened with the Lockdown show and the Detroit show that got canceled. Not too sure about the pay-per-views. I think it's too much of a financial burden to just pay people to stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not on a contract that's a guaranteed amount of money. I don't have a salary. I'm paid per date, and that's why I quote unquote whore myself out to the independents. It's because I love it. I love the grind and I love being able to do it. So I chose to just have the pay per date salary, and they could have easily just said, yeah, we can't pay you. Obviously the shows aren't happening and we have to pay all these people that are on salary. But Scott D'Amore fought for all the guys on the roster and realized that it wasn't our fault that these shows got canceled, and we expected, well, we were not expecting, but sorry, we were planning ahead for the money coming in, and he made sure to take care of us. So I'm very grateful for Scott and especially Ed and Len that work at Anthem. So yeah.
Yeah, and it is very nice seeing people step up in this way, not just in wrestling, but just in general.
Dude, it's like I did just a live Q&A and raffled off some like toys I had in my room, and just chatting with the fans. Like in one night, I made $250, and like for me and family, like that's a week and a half of groceries.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to just kind of sit with my supporters, and for them to be like, look, take this week, don't stress, here's a couple bucks. And it was like no one giving more than $20 to $50, some people $2. It's just the collective of everybody. That's the real heartwarming part. And honestly, people that don't even give money, just coming to chat or like appreciate something I put up on YouTube during this crazy time is like I said, all wrestlers want attention. So
yeah, and obviously I mentioned Impact is on hiatus right now, but you know, you guys had a TV taping. There's a bunch of shows like in the can. In hindsight, like how beneficial is that to have content when, especially when you see people weighing in with, you know, public opinion on WWE and AEW, and regardless of how you feel about them, like, you know, Impact and NWA has stuff in the can, and for a few years it was like, oh, they need to go live, but in this situation it worked out. So, I mean, you're still there for your fans.
We're gonna run out. Impact is gonna run out of stuff. I think we have maybe 2 or 3 more weeks max. I don't know what they're going to do after that, because I guess they're saying this could last another 12 weeks. So there's 10 weeks missing of what Impact's going to provide. So I do not envy anybody on the writing team, or if they're going to do empty arena stuff, or if it's going to be like, hey, go buy a camera and start filming for us. Like I suggested for myself and Josh Alexander, we're stuck in Canada, so for us, like, we can't even cross the border until all this clears.
Yeah.
So I suggested that I just vlog something with me and Josh, whether it's like us going to beat somebody up. There could be people in Canada, like the Dinos live in Canada, or at least Cody does. Jake Something's American. So they can't even meet up together. But I honestly don't know. And I think everyone that has a company, this is why I've been trying to be as understanding as possible, especially when it comes to like people trying to get reimbursements on flights or hotels for Mania. Is like, nobody knows what's going on. So for us to ever blame somebody that has no control over what's happening, it's just like we always need to be nice to each other and try and help each other out and just get through it, because like it'll end, everything will get back to normal hopefully eventually. Just got to get through all this crap right now, and it sucks.
Yeah, we just stay home and kind of keep yourself occupied, and we'll get through it. Exactly.
Yeah, and like when it comes to like having stuff in the can, it's been great. Especially like giving these guys like a couple of weeks to figure out what they're going to do next. And I know they've pitched ideas where they're going to film some of it empty arena in America, some of it empty arena in Canada, and then kind of mix it together, which is very creative. But again, like, you're also having to follow guidelines of like whatever state or province you're in, whatever city you're in. It's a mess, man. And like I said, I don't envy anybody. Me personally, I was always 3 weeks behind on my blog. So for this, like, I've been kind of the only one putting out new content that has wrestling in it because I filmed it so far ago. But I officially ran out this Wednesday when I put my Impact stuff out. I don't have any more footage kind of backed up. So I'll be having to vlog myself in quarantine, which I don't know how, I guess, fun that is. So we'll see. But I know today will be probably the most talked about thing I do in my entire career, at least up until this point.
So getting to that, we have something to look forward to. It's a new wrestling event. Ethan Page's body guy Extravaganza at 3 p.m. It's live streaming on your YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Ethan Page Vlog. How did you pull it off, and what can people expect?
What people can expect, and I'll answer all the questions that, like, what are the frequently asked questions, because I'm getting them, like, all the time, and by wrestlers that aren't on the show. Everyone that is doing the event, I have made them swear secrecy, because I just want people to go into this as curious as they are right now. And I feel like when it comes to things like this, when it gets given away, it just sucks the life out of it, and it ruins it for a lot of people that are excited, because my favorite tweets I've been getting about this entire event being announced are, I have no idea how he's doing it, I have no idea what he's even doing, but he's creative, so screw it, let's just see what happens. And that's what I want. I want people to just go into this being like, I'm intrigued, and I hate how big he is, but I really want to see what happens. And that, to me, is so exciting. So I had all talent, swear to secrecy, but I promise you, people are performing. Everyone on the show will be performing at 3 o'clock today on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ethan Page Vlog, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I promise you, you will love it.
Fair enough. I love how it sounded like a testimonial. He's creative, screw it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I was like, anytime I get like a tweet sent to me that like kind of like perks me up, my wife's like, all right, what did they say? And I'll just turn the phone on. She's like, oh wow, people actually like you? I'm like, oh, well, some of them.
I mean, and looking at this card, like Scott Steiner versus Brian Cage, 3 stages of hell. Chris Masters Masterlock Challenge. You have Jordan Grace versus John Silver, Chris Van Vliet, special guest ring announcer. Like there's tons of stuff going on here, and as you also mentioned, you know, the mystery behind it. I think people are going to tune in, and you know, it's a live wrestling show on WrestleMania weekend, so
and it's free.
And it's free. You don't have to fly to Tampa. You don't have to fly to Tampa. I took the
entire financial burden. Yep, I took it all myself. I didn't want anyone. It's like right now, with how crazy times are, for me to expect people to pay for something that they're already questioning, I just automatically assumed, okay, this is a bad idea. So I just had to make sure whatever we put out was absolutely free, was easily accessible to any fan, whether it's they're at home or at work. It's just a link, and everyone has a cell phone. And the minute the event is finished, it'll be available on replay on my YouTube channel. So people that have to work, the minute you get home, you're able to watch what I promise will be the most talked about show, WrestleMania weekend, mostly because it's the only one.
So let's keep going with the good news. This week we saw Kylie Ray officially. She signed a multi-year deal with Impact Wrestling. You were one of the first people to congratulate her. Just talk about what it means for you working with her. You know, you've worked with her quite a bit in the Midwest, and you know, what does it mean to have her on the roster, and you know, fans getting another chance to see her on a national level. We got a little bit of a taste with All Elite Wrestling, and she left. What does it mean to have her with Impact now?
I think it's amazing. She honestly like brightens up any locker room. Her attitude is one that you can't teach, and like you said, I've worked with her in the ring so many times, and I've been wrestling for about 14, 15 years. I've never met someone that is so nervous before they perform, and the minute that they step through the curtain, it's like it just washes away, and she becomes like female Shawn Michaels. To me, her selling is better than any performer that I've shared a ring with. Her connection with an audience is something that you can't, like, whatever Impact is paying her is not enough. It's like, that's just an intangible that it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And you could tell, like, even in her promos, she's nervous. And the crowd just naturally gravitates towards that in a positive way, which is so rare in wrestling. Usually, when people are nervous in their interviews, the crowd kind of just, like, come on, what's wrong with it? Why is this guy stuttering on his words? But with her, it's like, we love her, we support her, we need this to go good, and with time, she's going to be the best wrestler in the world. Guy, girl, doesn't matter. I'm so excited. I don't know how Impact pulled it off. I couldn't be happier. I think it's the best signing in the company. It's bigger and better than when they signed me. All Eagle will happily admit that.
That's awful big of you.
Dude, honestly, like, I was a catalyst in trying to make it happen and selling her on Impact because I selfishly wanted her on the roster. And especially with what I'm seeing with how Tessa's wrestling. I just wrestled her in the main event of last week's TV tapings for Impact. And with the intergender stuff and us being the only, like, national TV brand that's doing full, long matches, guy versus girl, she's a talent that can do that. She's hella good. Like, I couldn't say enough good things. So, I mean, if you want to talk about her for the rest of this interview, I don't mind.
I want to get you out on this because I know you have a big day. Again, Ethan Page's Body Guy Extravaganza live on YouTube, 3 p.m. today. How can people support you going forward, support your colleagues, maybe if they're on the show or anybody you work with until we figure this out? Like, is there going to be a virtual tip jar during the show or anything like that? Like, what's the best way to support you?
Honestly, the best way, for people to make way less work for me, if you enjoy someone's performance on the show today, just go to their pro wrestling tees and buy their shirt. Tipping is easy on YouTube. It's called a super like, but then I'd have to divvy it up, and that's a mess, especially when it comes to the exchange, because I'm going to end up getting it in Canadian, then I have to transfer it back into American to send it to everybody, because I'm, like, the only Canadian really on the show, other than a couple of local people. Best way, just go to their Pro Wrestling Tees account and just buy their shirt. Like, all three Rascals are on the show, so let's say someone tips $5. What am I going to do? Send Zach 2, Dez 2, and Trey 1? So, just buy their shirt. They'll be able to do it themselves. ProWrestlingTees.com is the best way. If you want to support the show as a whole, subscribe to my channel. I have a Body Guy t-shirt available on my Pro Wrestling Tees. But for me, I just want people to subscribe and check out my blogs. My blogs shine a light on independent talent around the world, as well as Impact Wrestling in a way that I don't even think that they shine themselves. It's a locker room that is like a family, and whatever's happening with management, we don't give an F about. Like, we're there to put on the best shows, and I try and show that aspect of the company as best as I can on the blogs. And my favorite blog I've ever made actually just came out this Wednesday, and it's available on my YouTube channel right now. So if you want to go there now, check it out. Right before the Body Guy Extravaganza starts at 3, that'd be great.
That's the pre-show today.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you doing this. Watch the stream today.
Dude, thank you so much. Thanks for helping spread the word. This is probably the most nerve-wracking day of my entire career.
I'm sure it'll work out. This is a positive. Seriously, it's a positive, so think about that.
Yeah, thank you, man.